Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our DIH Talk number 7 for this year. Today we will talk about augmented reality, VR, and also 3D scanning. And looking to the outside on a typical November day, I think we really need some augmentation in our life and hopefully also on our workplaces. Having that said, and getting a bit more serious on the topic, or before getting more serious on the topic, let me just introduce you quickly into the tool. Just a moment, just starting a little presentation. Just for everybody knowledge and reminder, this webinar is recorded and the replay will also be available to you as a participator. Actually, we have close to 70 people that registered for the event today. And it will also be later on available via our Lux Innovation YouTube channel. This console, for those that participate first time, has the typical things like a chat that you will find. You can contact everybody or individual people that you see appearing as participants. More important for us or for me moderating today's session is the question session. For the two speaker sessions, we will have about 5 minutes question and answers. And please place your questions inside the questions. Don't use the chat, it might get overlooked. We have two polls today. One is already available and you could start immediately to give answers, but I will come back to that point in a short moment. And last not least, we have the people section where you see all the participants. Okay, just for those people that don't know us, Digital Innovation Hub, we are basically here to support you, to support the ecosystem in Luxembourg of manufacturing companies. And how we do that, on the one hand, we like to inform, inspire, and on the other hand, of course, we like to get into real engagements where we give individual support for activities you might run or you might plan for your company. For those that know Lux Innovation not that well, we can also help on state aid programs or European aid programs and things like that. So basically, we consider ourselves as the middleman between all the different actors in the ecosystem of manufacturing and industry. We like to support on digital transformation, Industry 4.0 matters. We like to also help you to get connected to the providers, to research institutes, incubators, whatever is required on your side. And we are in the process to extend our activities also to the greater region in order to support our activities or your activities even more. So clearly, today's DIH talk or the series of DIH talks we have is falling under Inform and Inspire. Today it's on AR via 3D scanning, as I mentioned already beforehand. And as a little explanation how we got to that topic, actually it started with the industrial survey we did this year, where about 10% of the manufacturing companies in Luxembourg responded to. And what was interesting to see here when it comes to challenges, in all the four main reasons why companies feel challenged to move ahead with their digital innovation is a bit people related, which is quite interesting. Also interesting if I compare it to these numbers that I got recently from Gartner. Only 24 people in 24% of employees in Western countries working for an organization are satisfied with the tool set they use on their daily workshop, which is quite, for me, a bit of a scaring number, I have to say. And at the same time, this Gartner research was showing that the retention for people that work in a good environment with the right tools is 25% higher than for those that are from an overall setup using mediocre or not so good tool sets and processes in their own organizations. And even the performance goes up by 20% and a little bit above. So, as an encouragement to those that are listening, I think if it comes to augmented reality, in particularly, it might sound for the one or the other a bit too far away, but actually, if we look into the young talents and the fact that the things are more and more going in towards gamification and also the efficiency that you could gain through the use of this kind of technical solutions, you can improve the adoption and effectiveness of your employees a lot. And last but not least, you avoid so-called friction by simply having interesting, exciting tools within your organization. And we will surely see in the next 45 minutes quite some nice examples that are actually existing in companies that are manufacturing or in the, generally speaking, that are already used in the industry. Before going or moving to our first speaker, just please help us to get some feedback from your side. We would surely appreciate if you would quickly, in the poll section, answer those questions that we placed here. And after the first speaker, I will present the results of the audience. Okay, moving to our first speaker, which is Meysam Minofekre from Dropslab. He is actually the founder and managing director of that company. The company started about 6 years ago, and Meysam has a background of comes from the university in Aachen, the Technical University of Aachen. I have to say he worked quite long for the Fraunhofer Institute and also for the University in Luxembourg. So Meysam, I hope we can see you in a short moment here so that we can start with you as the first speaker. Seems there is a problem right now. Okay, Meysam is coming.
I'm trying to get connected.
Okay.
Having still some problems. Just give me a second.
At least we can hear you already, which is a good sign. So let's see if we get the rest managed.
I'm gonna reload the page and then come back if it's okay.
Yes, please do so. Okay, so a little technical issue here. So let's see how we can overcome it. Maybe I simply use already the time to introduce also our second speaker, which will be Alexander Osipov from Artec 3D. He is actually the CIO of the company, and Artec is producing and developing here in Luxembourg since many years. Actually, Alexander is here since more than 8 years working for that company. He has a background in mathematics and physics. And Artec is quite successful, but most companies or most people in Luxembourg don't know them. And you will be surprised later on as a second speaker when Alexander is going to speak up. Now I hope that Meysam will be able to make it. Okay, that looks again promising. We cannot see you, Meysam, at the moment. I don't hear you either.
Do you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you, but not see you yet.
All right. It used to be working.
Yes. I saw you
Anyways,
before.
anyways, if it's okay with you, I'm gonna share my screen because we need to keep
Yes, do
going.
that, please. Go ahead.
And then we can get to know each other maybe on a different location, if it's okay with you guys. So you can see my slides at the moment, right?
Not yet. Now we see it. So please go ahead.
All right. So my name is Meisam Minufek. I'm CEO and founder of Dropstep Technologies. We are a company seated in Fürth in Luxembourg for like some time, for 2 years now in Luxembourg. So what do we do at Dropstep Technologies? We boost efficiency of your workforce with augmented reality. But before we go there, just give you a short information about myself. My background is mechanical engineering and computer science from Aachen, Aix-la-Chapelle. I have a background of 15 years of experience in operation excellence, starting with the Ariane 6 program in 2006, then continuing at Fraunhofer Institute for Production Technology, and then getting involved in the EJ 200 program, which is the engine of the Eurofighter, and then later on at the XWB program, which is the jet engines made by Rolls-Royce. Before we go into the like what we do, just as key figures about what we do about Dropstep Technologies. We were founded in 2020 in Luxembourg. We have 2 patents, 1 filed, 1 pending. We launched our SaaS-based, cloud-based augmented reality platform, graduated in Fit for Start, and have recently been selected by the Generator Luxembourg, which is one of the highly ranked in accelerators, investors, VCs from US, now having an office in Luxembourg. Our clients, as you see, are like more in the machine building, automotive sector. Siemens Energy is one of our clients. Aptiv, which is an automotive supplier, is one of our clients, but also medtech companies like B. Brown, logistic companies like KLM Cargo in Schiphol, and E.ON, which is one of the biggest utility providers in Europe. And what we do is we do augmented reality. We do not do virtual reality. And the second thing, which is not mentioned here, we do software and not the hardware. So our solution is working on every hardware which is like more or less available on the market. We support several platforms, and so we do have the access to the hardware which is already used at the company, at the client side. But before we go there, just to ask you one question: what do fixing a landing gear, being a nurse in the surgery room, in a trauma surgery, and being a guy who is fixing IKEA kitchens have in common? The thing what they do have common is that the ability and the skill set they have or they bring with them at the situation determines the process a lot. So it determines the outcome of the process in terms of effectiveness and efficiency. And the question behind that, which is related to that from a company owner's point of view or CEO of the company, is what is the most valuable asset in your company? And at least from a lean point of view, it is the people and their time at work. And how are things done today? So we try to, in mechanical engineering companies, we try to have like highly skilled and experienced workers. We try to have formalized and paper-based documentation. And we have also knowledge management system. And what is a novel approach we have at Dropstep Technologies is to infuse instant and context-related information adaptive to the field service guys or the field workers situation. How do we do that? Just having a look at an inspection or support process in the middle. You have like one part of your job, of the worker's job, is to look up the data, and the other part is the documentation of their work results. which basically is non-value added work and causes a lot of overhead. And what we do at DropsLab is basically we combine those aspects, looking up information and documenting the result of the work, parallel to the work instruction itself. So basically, we cut overhead of the field service or frontline workers tremendously in different sectors, and actually completely industry agnostic. So how do we do that? We do that by providing our clients an augmented reality cloud solution where the process owners can create workflows, where they process engineers or frontline workers can execute those tasks and those jobs and track their job results, and where they can communicate on the field with telementoring, and where we can get out of these step-by-step workflows detailed reports and KPIs. So the message is providing the right information at the right time, adaptive to the situation by, for example, using object detection in the surgery room, or using identifiers like at the warehouse to determine where the part has to go, and where you get the users or of our solution guided instructions how, for example, assemble a Da Vinci hub. Or if everything fails, we still have the telementoring support where we can, where one person who is more experienced can guide his fellows, for example, by finding the right bin to putting a hub in it. So to give you an insight, I'm gonna let you see this video, how our solution works. So basically, this is a version running on the HoloLens. We have the headset where you can just put it on your head. And then we have like gesture control where you can load the process you were looking for or you're supposed to work on. In this case, it is a Da Vinci hub from eBike. And there's also some kind of KPIs already determined. And then you can start with the assembly process. You see the video fluently?
Yes, we do, Mason.
Okay. So basically, the guy knows what to do. Then we have the object detection, where to get the parts for assembling a part for the product. And then the person in charge can see what he has to do. Just give me a bit of time to set up. Go into the next instruction. And that's where augmented reality comes in. It is said to be more efficient, and there are also investigations that actually using 3D or digital instructions creates less errors and is also more efficient in the end. I saw, for example, the University of Luxembourg is Dr. Sri Kola is in the chat. They are investigating these things and what they are on the aspect of the worker and also on the KPIs, which you can on the lean level get out of the process. But this is like more their job. We are focusing on the software itself. What is also included in our solution is the telementoring support, as I mentioned before, where you can ask a guy who knows, probably has more information about the process, and where he guides the other person in real time with augmented reality to fulfill a task, right? So basically, this is a demo of a small use case. Having said that, where can our solution be used, or where can assisted reality work instructions can be used? So I give you this overview. So we have like different life cycles. We have the development life cycle, the development cycle, production cycle, the user cycle, which is basically after sales. And there are like different layers. We are like supporting processes and core processes. And the solution, to sum up this graphic, based on our customer experience, we see that a lot of people, a lot of companies use our solution, like BorgWarner, Siemens Energy, and Aptiv, in a production cycle, and tending and in the transition to the after-sales user cycle, which is basically quality inspection and so on. Some of our users some of our clients use our solution directly in the after-sales, like KLM, Champ, and B. Brown, and also for the maintenance processes and so on. So installation and maintenance can be solved with our solution. Assembly and manufacturing can be solved with our solution. Less the product's design and process design phase. So we are kind of involved in the production cycle and the user cycle. Looking at for example, at a case at E.ON, there is this case where there's a guy, a maintenance guy, inspecting a fuse boxes, where you can divide the process in non-value added, basically waste, non-value added but necessary process parts, and then the core process, which is the value added. And this is like one part is before the process starts, and then there is one part of non-value added after the process starts. And with our solution, basically, when you inspect the fuse box, we had like a gain of 15% efficiency in the overall process. The core process was parallel, as I said, to the looking up the inspection data and documenting the inspection results, which reduced the time spent for looking the information for the job and for documenting the results tremendously. And that's why we basically succeeded in having E.ON as one of our customers, and why we are still getting contracts and selling more licenses to different sectors at E.ON. Just to Joachim, do we have more time? Joachim? I just continue before, and then Joachim just kicks me out. I think that's a best case. So having said that, the telementoring support which we have is touchless and gesture controlled with voice commands. And you see here how it operates for using it on the field for the mentoring support. So you see here a case which can be done by a medtech company, where we have a person who needs help with a medical device, and where you can instantly support this person by infusing. This is basically this what you see here on the screen is basically mapped also on the smart glasses, and these smart glasses are very tiny, hold like 7 hours, and have a weight of 80 grams. So basically, you can share visuals, you can indicate markers in your view field, and you can help the other person to do the job in a faster way, as you see here with these medical images and surgeries. This can be also adapted to other use cases, for example, for repairing a part, a machine, on remote locations, and to have inspections, to have expertise over long distances. What we have also integrated is basically the object detection, so we can detect even surgical instruments. I hope you guys are not very sensitive to surgery scenes, but you can use that also in the surgery room as well as in industrial cases. I would say this is it from my side, and I am open to your questions. I'm gonna stop sharing now. All right.
Mason, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, we had also technical problem here. I'm now together with my nice colleague Ocean, so I had to even move the room. Sorry for that, and I could not give you a pre-warning that you were a bit over time.
Okay.
But anyway, one question that I have, I mean, you are 6 years on the market already, Mason. Where you see it typically used right now?
So we have at the beginning we started. We are like 2 years in a software-based market, right? So we had like some kind of work before. Typically, we are used in the production sector, production steps, like where human or worker is involved in a process. So that's like it is in the interface to a cyber-physical system, to a machine, to a CNC machine, and so on. And when you need a lot of quality, where you have a high quality in standards. And then the other thing is in the quality assurance. So when you have that's the fields where we are very active.
Okay, thank you. I'm just looking in the question section. There are no questions asked, but I have another one. I could imagine in some companies that people are struggling probably with their management to indicate a return of investment. Can you share a little bit your experience on that one? Where, I mean, you obviously succeeded in selling your solution to some companies. So what were the driving arguments and how it was defended, for example, in front of management?
So actually the management was seeing the potential right away, you know. So what we do is we cut overhead. We cut overhead and the costs related to overhead. And the management knows mostly that 30% of the time is consumed based on this part, like documentation of the results, and also on searching for the right information. They are like operations research papers, we said that. And with our tool, you can directly feel and see that because, for example, at Siemens Energy, we reduced the process by 50%. This was because of the fact that we completely replaced one person at a 2-person job. This person can do the job now alone. Because we have a system which is intelligent and which shows the information needed and also converts the scene, the view field of the user and the voices and this environment of the users directly into the digital twin, in the digital shadow, which is basically at Siemens Energy SAP. So we get the data of the jobs automatically in the view field of the worker, and we get the results, what the person has to do, directly back into the SAP system, which is the digital shadow. Some people call it digital twin. I refer to it as a digital shadow. This is one case where we have, like in this part of the process, for example, for inspections of the generators, a 50% cut of costs and cut of workforce. The other thing is at E.ON, where we have like let's say in the overall process, which we can also generalize to other companies, where we had a efficiency of 15%, 1.5. And we recently have an analysis at ZF, automotive supplier in Germany, where we inspected not the efficiency, but the effectiveness. And in our control group, about 40% of the control group could not, and it was like about 50 people, could not even do the job described on the paper instruction. They could, however, fulfill the job in the digital augmented reality based system, which was very, very good for us because it really landed on the executive board, and now we are seeing further. So that shows also that our solution can be also used on the training on the job situations to basically train new people for the job.
Okay, interesting, Mason. There's one related question, I think, to that one. It's about a bit about the acceptance of the employees, and particularly if it regarding concerns on health, if it is too heavy after 30 minutes, or people get too much detracted by wearing a HoloLens. Any experience on that one?
Yeah, the thing is that, yeah, absolutely. So we started with the HoloLens in 2017. And I see also here a question related to motion sickness. With our solution, there is no chance of getting motion sickness because we are not fully immersive. Basically, you can think of our solution as a tablet where you have, that's why I said we are assisted reality and not augmented or virtual reality, where you see basically instead of having a monitor in front of where you're holding a monitor, that you can see on a small monitor in front of your eyes, which like a bit lower of your view focus, but you can always look at it. In that sense, the smart glasses, it's all about user experience. And in that sense, the feedback was very, very positive. So we made a feedback round with all the members who were involved at Siemens Energy, where everyone had to try the solution for 45 minutes. And 2 out of 64 had concerns about the solution. So then there was also the questionnaire, and the other 62 people accepted the solution.
Okay.
And so from a user's point of view, the acceptance was very high due to the fact that the smart glasses are not comparable. Are not comparable to the HoloLens. They are much lighter. So we start at the weight of 80 grams, and it goes until 150. The battery life is about 7 hours, which is almost a shift. The acceptance, you said like older people are more holding back. It's actually the opposite. Our experiences are the opposite. Older people, we made some studies. Older people convince younger people. In our studies, there were like one young person, one old person, and one young person below 30. The older person mostly convinced the younger people, look, try it out. He said, like, try it out. It's a cool thing, So okay. This holding back is a mindset, but not depending on age, I would say.
Very interesting, and clearly showing that, listening to you, Mason, and see that as a big compliment. Your solution, it's not a theoretical approach anymore for the industry or manufacturing environments. It's something that is really used and even sounds like appreciated by the people. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you. Thank you for
In
having
case
me.
there are further questions, please continue to raise your questions into the questions area, and Mason can then continue to answer in writing. But we move on for the sake of time with our session, just to give you some feedback on the poll from those that answered, about 30% are already using AR, VR solutions, or 30% also scanning and computer visioning solutions. And then the others is 2020. And now let's move to the second speaker. I quickly introduced Alexander already beforehand. So he's since 8 years the CIO of Artec. And Alexander, looking forward to your presentation on 3D scanning solutions. And again, the background of Alexander is mathematics and physics. So really looking forward to this presentation. Let me just switch off my one, and then Alexander, you can start. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. As Joachim already told, I'm working in Artec's 3D company. We are well known, and I will share in my presentation about the solution that we do for manufacturing, reverse engineering, and quality inspection. We do here produce in Luxembourg our solutions for more than 10 years already. And I think it's my presentation will be very complementary to the thing that previous speakers have showed, and I'm just very excited to see such type of usage of AR and VR technology in the real life and in the manufacturing and production cycle. So to start with a little information about our company. So we are one of the top 5 manufacturers of 3D scanners in the world. Our main focus is handheld scanners, but our product portfolio includes also desktop scanners and laser scanners for scanning of the large things. We do our solutions for wide range of professions, from archaeology, forensics, research, educations, to heritage preservations and healthcare specialists. Our main flagship product is Arctic Leo. It's a world first wireless and AI-driven 3D scanners. It's a really breakthrough product that we introduced to the market because it is really become very easy to start 3D scanning into your company, into your environment, as a lot of previously not available knowledge was adopted, and the device itself right now is moving to the so good user experience that even a child could use it to produce a good result. So, and minimal training is required in that case. We, during all 15 years of our development of our hardware product, we introduced, starting from 2019, first 3D scanners, and right now our portfolio is really big. And complementary to it, we have our own Arctic Studio software products that have a lot of post-processing feature for the data that you collect with the 3D scanners, and a lot of CAD and CAM features. Our clients, we have thousands of the devices all over the world being sold. I would say thousands, and almost all companies from Fortune 500 lists are our clients, from automotive manufacturing to global leaders like Siemens, Sony, Panasonic, HP, and ending with our favorite and famous company like NASA and SpaceX and everyone. Our company is not that big. We are around 220 people all over the world, and we employ people from 25 countries. We are focused on creating the solutions. So our resellers, that's our partners all over the world, they are distributed in more than 60 countries, and almost in every country you can find our partner that will be able to provide the support, sales, and training, and will be able to deploy the solution into your environment. In Luxembourg, we have a headquarter and in-house productions. So here in Zenenberg, we have our production facilities where we have a full cycle of producing electronics for our devices, assembling them, calibrating, testing, and here as well we are building our software products in Luxembourg. I will show you a little video, and I hope there will be several topics covered there, and you will see how our products are used all around the world.
Alexander, we don't hear anything right now.
Yeah, looks like there is a problem of the sharing exact one. Let me just do reshare with the video. It will take just a second, please. Okay.
So it's our webinar with quite some technical issues today, it looks like.
Just a second.
Sorry for that.
No, not a problem.
Yes.
Yeah, and further in my presentation, I will try really briefly to show you the most interesting use cases for manufacturing that was recently done by our partners and our clients, and to show you how the wide range could be of implementation of 3D scanners is in any company, and I hope several of them could inspire you. So I will start with two local use cases. So first one is when we were scanning a Luxembourg air rescue helicopter with two different type of 3D scanners. So one was to scan it as a whole one, and one to scan the little details for all mechanisms of this helicopter. So it take less than 11 hours to do whole data collecting from this helicopter, and then several days more to process the data to create the final model. On the next slide, you can see several photos of how this process was done, and the final result is available publicly, and using this link, I will post it a bit later in our chat. You will be able to access it and to see in the full details what is the level of granularity and accuracy that was achieved during the scanner. The second use case to show you how large could be the objects, it's one of the largest objects in Luxembourg that we were able to scan. It's a really 26-meter long gas engine that we scanned for heritage preservation, as it was intention already. It was a lot of years it's not working, but it was intention to disassemble it. And before that, we did all full-size scanning of this device. It took also several days to collect all the data and process. You can see that it's really huge, and the model as well is available by the link that I will share with you, and you will see like how really complex this project was and what results were achieved. this type of use cases, they're showing classical digital twin creation. So whenever you need to create a full digital twin of your manufacturing premises or your lab or everything before you do any change, or in order to properly plan them, this could be a really good cost-saving solution in order to reduce the time for any construction or any improving of your facilities. Going a little bit forward, I can show that our technologies are able to scan really objects that are located far away from your office, laboratory, or manufacturing facilities, somewhere like in offshore vessel, when we were scanning a really big 15 meters pipe in order to that was fractured in order to do the urgent replacement to maintain production further and continue operation. But it's not only the big objects. Many our clients are using our technology in order to speed up the manufacturing and creating physical prototypes like furniture designs, or like producer of food packaging, like this Swiss company that's creating every year new products, and they need really fast to create proper packaging for them. And our solution was able to reduce the time from 20 hours to just 1 hour. As you already saw in the video, this is example how our solutions are used in order to create ultra-fast racing bike. So there was a continuous 3D scanning done by the engineers near the aerodynamic tube in order to understand how properly to improve the product, and how this research helped them to achieve really great results. And this bike was already on a World Cup, winning some medals. Going forward, there is a really a lot of usage of our products. So every company adopts 3D scanning based on their own manufacturing processes, and they're selecting the necessary type of the technology. And our partners are here really good help, because they are able to guide you through all the things really fast, and you are able to bring and improve your workflows really in days. Going forward, there was already a question to previous speaker about ROI and return of investment, and there is a little example how 3D scanning helping to reduce cost of reverse engineering. So whenever you need to do reverse engineering in your work process, you can see that using 3D scanning comparing to classical manual measurements on the size of the part, like 3 meters long, are able to help you to save around 85% of your cost for this. And whenever you are doing this, you need to understand whenever the 3D scanning is being done, this also helps you to digitalize your assets. And whenever you already have collected some database of the assets, you are able to create virtual reality courses or training materials or library, and able to use them in future. This is really sometimes bringing some cool solutions for education or for heritage preservation, whenever you are able to process a lot of 3D scanning data. And as a last two very important for us markets is the healthcare. We know everyone that right now 3D scannings are commonly used for dental industry, for prosthetic, for plastic surgery, and this is as well good market, and this is as well good opportunity to bring modern technology in the process. And forensic application as well. Right now it's a really big rise for proper digitalization of everything, to proper keeping all the records and able to reconstruct accident scenes and all other documentation could be created really fast, saving a lot of time for the employees and for future investigation specialists. As the last slide, I want to go forward and speak like 30 seconds about our software. It's really intuitive, so we are developing it more than 10 years, and step by step it become a really solution that a lot of employees and a lot of specialists could be a professional in it within a days. So our classical course for the software is taking around 20 hours for the employee in order to become really familiar with basic features and advanced things, and extra 5 days more, and the person could become a really well experienced in order to perform almost all the tasks for the 3D scanner and data processing.
Alexander, that leads to a first question from my side, if you allow me.
Sure.
I mean, you were mentioning that you are selling through partners in Europe or globally, I should better say. But when it comes to the integration of your product into a production line, let's say, is that what you do with your software, or is that part of the job of your partner?
Our software is currently supporting and having integration with most usable on the market other solutions like Geomagic, like SolidWorks. So you are able from our software in one click to transfer the data in a proper format in the next software you will be using it in your cycle. However, whenever you have any workflow with the software, with some specific one that you want to use 3D scanning data, our partners usually are able to help some proper solution for that. In general, I would say that we integrated with more than 20 different software solutions very used on the markets of post-processing or CAD or CAM and everything around. So in general, the answer is that it's already done. So in many cases, whenever you are having our 3D scanners, the result you are getting from our software is already adapted to your future process.
Okay, interesting. And I mean, you mentioned the data transfer into another leading system, could be a production system or design system. I mean, you generate a lot of data, a lot of pixel, and that leads to a question that came from Arno. Do you need high performance computers in the background or for these kind of complex operations?
I would say, and yes and no. First of all, our 3D scanner, like our flagship Leo, it have on board NVIDIA Jetson with a computer itself, so you can use it without any computer connection. So you can go to any premises or outside or anywhere and scan the data you need. So all the data will be stored. And then you need a computer to post-process it. So whenever you want to simplify, to remove unnecessary artifacts, or you want to make this model more lightweight, you will need a computer. In general, I would say classical workstation of any SolidWorks user will be pretty enough, and or any gaming laptop will be enough in order to fast post-process the data.
Okay, so I mean, HPC would come into play maybe for the algorithm your customers are running at the end, but it's not necessarily part of your solution, or not a necessity of your solution, so to speak.
I would say that in order to achieve a good result, the computers that cost around 2K euro will be enough for your daily operation.
Okay, interesting. And in manufacturing, could you give us an estimate? What is a typical use when it is integrated into a production? I would expect, for example, that it would be the quality control system, but maybe your experience is completely different in that respect.
I would say that a lot of companies, they are investing in 3D scanning solution for covering several topics in their company. So they can start with quality assurance to compare parts with the etalon and to understand how one batch is different from the previous batch. On the second hand, they can control using our 3D scanners their production facilities and their, for example, forms they're using to produce plastic on everything, so they can do properly every, let's say, 6 months check with full 3D scanning to understand what is like wear of this device and whether it should be replaced. But the same device could be used as well in their rapid prototyping. So whenever they have something, they can, the material that is like plastic or any rigid material that they can create a prototype fast, then they can do a 3D scanning, and then using this model, they can do a metal printing or plastic printing in order to bring the prototype really fast and understand what is weakness or strong points of this prototype, and then go to the production really in several weeks. Because previously, when you are not using 3D scanners, you need to send it to your production facilities or to third-party companies some amount of information and then wait until they will bring you the prototype, and usually it's several weeks. Currently, the COVID time as well really impacted on the delivery times for any small batches, and everyone knows that currently there's a big shortage of components all over the world. So this rapid prototyping is on the main rise, I would say, for usage of 3D scanning in manufacturing.
Okay, Alexander. There's one last question actually from Mesam, and please try to answer short, otherwise we really run out of time. He's asking, I see a lot of potential reman processes. Do you have any feedback experience about that?
So the reman, like reman, is a very broad topic. I would say that there is a lot of big ideas, even on the Europe level, to change our process of manufacturing at all and change our process of repair and recycle the things. So I would say that, yeah, this is a really big topic, and a lot of companies already having their own workflow for that. But we expect that in future it will be really on a big rise. And yes, the answer is yes, we do have experience in that, and we can directly talk after the webinar, and I will bring some use cases for that.
Great, Alexander, and thank you very much for the very interesting presentation. Again, to the audience, if you have further questions, just put them in the question area, and then Mesam or Alexandre will answer via the question section. And we come now to the next part, which is our sneak review. For those that don't know the concept, we always allow newcomers, startup companies that are entering into Luxembourg this platform to get known. And the speaker of today is actually Christophe Antoine. He's a business developer for the company Firis. And Alexandre, it's all you. Alexandre will continue in French, if I'm not mistaken. Please go ahead.
Merci Joachim. Je vais essayer un peu de réduire la présentation, comme on est un peu en retard sur le temps. Je m'appelle Christophe Antoine, je suis business developer chez Firis et associés. Nous sommes un bureau d'ingénierie et de recherche privée, spécialisé dans tout ce qui est cartographie, topographie par drone et par rover. Nous travaillons en collaboration avec le LIST et la SNT, l'Université du Luxembourg, pour tout ce qui est recherche d'acquisition de données par LiDAR et d'autonomisation de rover et par drone. On utilise quatre types de données. On utilise LiDAR avec une précision centimétrique pour faire de la géoréférencement, contrôle de structure, de réseau et d'équipement. Par exemple, pour un bâtiment de 10 000 m², nous allons utiliser 2 heures à 3 heures maximum pour scanner l'intérieur et l'extérieur du bâtiment. Nous utilisons des caméras haute définition 4K et pour faire de la reconnaissance vraiment d'objets qui sont difficiles d'accès en hauteur, pour tout ce qui est grosse structure de génie civil. Nous utilisons du multispectral pour faire de la caractérisation des matériaux photopanoramiques. Cela qui permet de limiter le matériel de sécurité, de limiter le matériel de levage de nacelles, et surtout le temps administratif est vraiment très réduit. Nous utilisons le dernier, c'est du thermique, pour tout ce qui est, voilà, pour faire des études thermiques par rapport au contrôle de perte d'énergie, pour tout ce qui est colonne de refroidissement et d'humidité. Voilà une inspection qu'on peut faire dans les bâtiments qui sont assez difficiles d'accès pour contrôler vraiment les pièces minutieuses qui sont difficiles d'accès pour prendre des références ou pour faire des modifications. On fait du 3D et du 2D en plan, du niveau. Un exemple d'un de nos clients, c'est Orange Telecom. Pour eux, on fait la reconnaissance de la classification des azimuts des antennes pour voir s'ils n'ont pas une perte d'angle ou s'il n'y a pas une perte de problématique avec leur pylône. Et le dernier, c'est notre projet coup de cœur au tout début de notre projet. On travaille à l'ITM, l'inspection des mines à Luxembourg, pour tout ce qui est reconnaissance et classification d'objets dans les mines, et surtout pour faire de la cartographie très précise. Et je veux terminer par une collaboration avec BeamWire. En fait, on fait de nuage de points et de l'image 360, on fait de la détection d'objets et de l'inventaire, et surtout, on fait de la calcul de la quantité pour faire de la modélisation en BIM. Nous avons un objectif, c'est vraiment de réduire tout ce qui est la maintenance prédictive et de permettre à faire une utilisation des matériaux qui vont être détruits selon les nouvelles constructions pour être utilisés dans des autres bâtiments ou être utilisés par des autres clients du secteur. Nous avons une plateforme de réutilisation d'objets que vous pouvez voir sur ce slide. Voici un exemple de la plateforme. En fait, si vous sélectionnez l'objet, vous avez toute la référence avec tout ce qui est classification, mesurage, qualité du produit et couleur. Voilà. Ici, vous avez un tableau de bord, voilà, d'explication. Là, vous voyez la quantité de fenêtres, la quantité des détecteurs de métaux, etc. Là, je vais vous permettre de vous faire une petite présentation pour vous expliquer un peu le nuage de points qu'on travaille avec le drone en automatisation. Voilà, je fais un petit partage de mon écran. Voilà.
Ok, Alex.
Voilà, en fait, là, vous voyez, c'est un scanner qui a été fait par drone autonome avec un mix de nuages de points et de vidéos qui permet de refaire de la colorisation de nuages de points d'un ancien bâtiment, une friche industrielle du côté français. Voilà, la précision. Et puis, cela, ça permet d'aller dans des endroits qui étaient interdits à l'homme et accessibles pour pouvoir faire de démantèlement de poutres et de fenêtres, de tôles, etc. Je vais arrêter de m'enchaîner. Voilà, Joachim, merci. Je vais essayer de rattraper le temps qu'on avait un peu perdu avec ça. Et puis, voilà, merci beaucoup.
Thank you, Christophe, for this presentation. And again, a very nice signal to the audience that there are AR solutions already in use in the market, no doubt. It's just a matter when you start to experiment with it and at least trying it out if it could make sense for your own organization. So thanks again. And we come to the last part of our session today. Let me just get to my presentation. So again, thanks to the 3 speakers we had today. I hope that you from the audience, you found it interesting. For me, it is quite interesting to see that indeed, even if when you are confronted with AR scanning solutions first time, that you feel it is something really new. It is not the case, because today clearly has shown that there are a lot of applications already used outside by probably your competition even on it. So let's come, because these webinars we do for you. So we would really also appreciate your feedback on today's webinar. Certainly we had some technical issues, but I'm glad that together with Ocean we were able to overcome it. So I hope you still did like it, particularly the content that was shared by our great speakers today. And yeah, please answer to our poll number 2 that you find in the poll section. Last point for today is to remind that we have our final DIH talk on 16th of December, which is all about robots and cobots. What are the differences? Is it still challenging to apply cobots, even if you're maybe a smaller company? And I can already promise you that we found also quite some interesting speakers and solutions that we are going to share on December 16th. So looking forward to welcome you again. Thanks for today and have a great weekend. Thank you very much.